One thing I'll say is that with the introduction of these new mega-sized worlds, mega-sized farms feel much more at home. I reckon this is the direction that things are going, is things becoming much, much more mega. So let's have a look at this farm and see what it's like. So what we've got is a 4-chunk farm, which is not overly big, and it's a massive, massive version of my farm that you guys may have seen in the previous one with the moss stone and making the bone meal and all that sort of thing. And how big is this? I haven't even turned it on yet, and it's just absolutely mega. This thing's nuts. I love it in RTX as well. It just looks so shiny and pretty. I just want to print out a 3D model and have it right on my desk. That would be really, really awesome. I really hope that this doesn't have any problems. I mean, I can't see where problems could exist, aside from a few issues. Maybe things having some problems like using structure blocks and that sort of thing. But overall, I think it should be okay. I think most of the stuff should be all fine. I'll just do a last check and then we should be able to fire it up and start seeing how it's going. Now, I don't have any water buckets in, so that's something I'm going to have to fix in the meantime. Obviously, I'm going to need quite a few water buckets, but we're going to give it a shot to start off with and see how we can get this all running. So to start off with, we're running everything by 2 central clocks, so one here and one here. You can basically put them wherever. I've just basically put them here because, well, why not, pretty much. And in this one, we need 5 items, if memory serves me correctly. So let's grab 5 of anything and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can get rid of the rest. And once I fire this one up, this should start firing all of our stone generators. Oh wait, I've got to turn it off. Okay, so stone generation should be going. Yes, we've got a bit of stone generation going on here. It all does look like it's working. There doesn't seem to be any problems so far. Touch wood, hopefully. It's all going pretty well so far. That's a lot of stone. That's a serious amount of stone. That's absolutely crazy. Okay, well, that actually went a lot better than I thought it would. Whoop, I'm stuck somewhere. And having a look at it, it doesn't look like we're getting any sort of cobblestone at all, which is good. It's all running off 1 clock. It's all pretty quick. And I don't seem to be getting too much lag from just the stone generators, so that's a good sign so far. So with this farm, I've estimated that there should be roughly about 20,000 bone meal produced every hour, and we should be able to turn this lever off, and that should have fixed up everything, hopefully. Hey, there we go. It sounds like it's all running. Finally. You know, there's the possibility that there may not have been enough sort of bone meal in some of them, because it's not a perfect amount that you get each time out of these. So it could be possible that there may be some issues sometimes with these farms. But let's see how that works. That should be all correct now. Looks like the water timing is all correct. There's none getting generated so far. There we go, there we go. It just needed a little bit extra. Just a little bit more TLC, but that's okay. And that one's fine. That one's obviously fine. That one looks like it's pretty fine. Yep, it's swimming along. This one seems like it's all pretty fine. Yep, it's all getting rid of them. That one's fine. Yep. And that's the top one that we have. So it looks like all of them are actually running at the moment. So that's a good sign. So that should mean that once we've actually got all of these ones filled up with bone meal, that we should start to get our overflow bone meal supply, and then any extra stuff should start coming down through here. but we need to hook that up to a clock. In fact, did I already hook this one up to a clock or not? That's a good question. Yeah, I have. Look, I already have hooked that up to a clock. So if we do get extra amounts, then it will automatically start coming down through to here, which is our super chest system. So this is 45 chests, all actually going down into this one. So once one of them fills, it goes to the next one, the next one, the next one. You'll see how it all sort of works once we start getting to that point. But it should be reasonably pretty quick. So we should be on our way to having mass amounts of bone meal on this farm. All that we really need to do now is just basically wait. And that should be pretty good. It does seem to be running pretty well. The timing seems to be pretty perfect, which is odd because this is quite a large farm. You know what? I love the smell of bone meal right first thing in the morning. And that's because we're starting to get some of our bone meal through our system, which is getting there slowly. It has taken pretty much 2 days for these hoppers to become completely full so that it would start actually bringing it all down. But now we're starting to get a little bit coming through. I am a little bit concerned that it may at some stage become too much for our system, but hopefully not. So yeah, as you can see, it's starting to come through quite quickly. I know that not all of them are operational yet. There is probably about, I think it's probably about the top 4 stacks or 5 stacks aren't actually working yet because there was a bit of a problem as far as the timing goes. Namely, I wandered outside the simulation area and... was that an Enderman? Oh, I hope he doesn't cause problems. But yeah, I wandered outside the simulation area and it seemed to have just stuffed up the very top ones. So I think they're about 2 or 3 stacks behind at the moment. But it's starting to come through. It's starting to come through, which is good. It's definitely looking quite promising. Not the quickest, it will do about 20,000 per hour. You can start to see that it does start to pick up at different points as different amounts start coming through. But what we'll do is we'll let this continue on for a little bit. And what we'll do from there is we'll basically allow for this farm to run for a little bit of time. Hopefully we can get rid of that Enderman. What? What? Dude, what are you doing? Yeah, that's a weird bug. Can Enderman not teleport right now, or is that just me? Weird. Very, very, very weird.
Turn around and everything has changed. Looking for a way to work it out. I'm trying to find some peace to navigate. The oak tree where I met you and the writing on the statue. I still remember every word you said. I'm not a soldier, but I'm fighting. Can you hear me through the silence? I won't give up 'cause there will be a day we'll meet again. We'll meet again. Everything we wanted turned to gold. The path we chose, the future on our side. Never thought I'd do this on my own, but now I wield the sword you left behind. The oak tree where I met you and the writing on the statue. I still remember every word you said. I'm not a soldier, but I'm fighting. traveling star. Strong from the inside, you're still my lifeline. I feel you wherever you are. The oak tree where I met you, and the writing on the statue. I still remember every word you said. I'm not a soldier, but I'm fighting. Can you hear me through the silence? I won't give up, 'cause there will be a day we'll meet again. We'll meet again. We'll meet again.
Okay, so we still have our farm flying along as it has been the whole time. So it's nearly been an hour in my time and pretty much a couple days in Minecraft. Now we are almost at the final point of where these are all filled up. Where are we up to? We're up to that one's full and that one's full. Okay, so it looks like we've basically just got this chest to go. And then it should be all completely filled, and that one's nearly done, and that one's pretty much, in fact, if you realistically look at it, yeah, we're probably almost there anyway. We're pretty much using up 2.5 hoppers worth of maximum speed, so yeah, we're definitely hitting this 20,000 bone meal per hour, which is just monstrous. But yeah, if you have a look, it's generally running pretty well. I did have a problem where, for some strange reason, there was a bit of a hiccup as to the water actually flipping around. So it was actually not dispensing properly, which, yeah, I think it could just be because this farm is so large that maybe the game had a problem, or could just be a beta problem or something like that. As you saw before, there was an Enderman swimming around in the water, which, yeah, that was great. But yeah, aside from that, we're pretty much almost at the complete end for this. So yeah, I hope you guys have had a bit of fun. This is just an absolutely monstrous machine. We are nearly there. It is so very close. All these are completely filled. This is basically 20,000 bone meal achieved in an hour. That's a huge amount. I mean, as farms go, this is pretty quick. This is pretty quick. So that one's about to be filled, and this one's pretty much on half filled. The third one's just started, so yeah, it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. So where are we on this one? So it's about to do another shift in a few moments. And then basically from there we've just got the last chest, and that will be it for our farm testing. So yeah, 20,000, running it pretty much AFK completely for an hour, wandering around the place, having a look. Yeah, just be careful if you walk outside the simulator chunk zone, that it will probably cause some issues. So that's something to keep in mind. And there we go. That means that we've got one last shift left to go. And this one's probably, yeah, nearly full anyway, because this one fills it up. So we're probably pretty much there at the moment anyway, but we'll just let the light turn on, just so we have, you know, the nice sort of side of being able to say things were all completely filled. In fact, what I might do is I might just manually, because we are just waiting for that light to turn on, I might manually actually chuck all of these just in here, there we go. And so we've got 3 stacks left to go, so pretty much 3 stacks and we are done. I might redesign this because, yeah, it's a little bit annoying that it's actually going into 3 different chests, although it's not really likely to cause you any sort of problems. And in fact, it only sort of is a problem because I'm trying to get it to a certain point. So I probably don't even need to readjust anything, to be honest. It's not really like it's going to harm anything. And there we go, the final one, and the light is There we go. So 20,000 bone meal in our mega machine. Hope you guys had a bit of fun. I get to give my computer a bit of a break now because running RTX with this monstrous machine is one heck of a hot room. So if you liked the video, guys, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll catch you as always in the next one. Catch ya!